Welcome to Rules of Villainy, episode 68, where three new trading card game players quest and challenge their way to the competitive top tables and discuss their opinions on Disney's Lorcana. This evening, as always, we'll be covering the latest news in Lorcana, answering your questions, and going over the latest developments in the metagame. Although this week, we're going to talk a little bit about an upcoming DLC. I'm Villain Vince, joined by my two co-hosts, Villainy Andy, and the mayor of Lorcana himself, Brad.
That's right.
How's it going?
DLC Milwaukee weekend, baby.
Only two tries to get through the intro. 68 episodes into the series.
They heard the good one. We got to hear both of them.
Well, I never know with Andy because Andy, Andy will edit this later.
No, you said too many no words in the first one. We can't. That's definitely not. Sorry, guys.
Honestly,
you didn't hear.
I kind of now do that on purpose because it's like I don't.
That's how he tries to get the clips
one
on the
Mickey is
floor.
Yeah, one Mickey's okay, but if I add a few Mickeys,
yeah,
just making it hard for me to edit. If it's like I know if I make this too much work, you just won't do it. So that's the easiest way to get a clip removed from the episode.
So yeah, keep that in mind.
I'm doing good though. It took all 5 tries. So we only had 6 available days. We casted one at Impact, right, Vince? That was fun. Ton of fun.
Right,
you can still go watch that VOD on YouTube if you wanted some great gameplay. And then I got to play in 5 set champs every other available day, and then we'll be in Milwaukee next weekend. But I finished this soon, like tomorrow, maybe when you're listening to this. You're on your way to Milwaukee right now as you're listening to this.
It's a drive, it's a trip for a lot of
5
folks.
set champs. I got 5 top 8 finishes. We got 5 of those enchanted Maleficent dragon cards, and it took all the way to the 5th one, but we went down to Farmington, Missouri, and we were able to take home first place.
Let's go!
Aesop's Treasury Books and Games here.
Nice.
Big shout out. It was their first
playing?
set champs. I was playing Amethyst Steel, the best deck in Lorcana.
And what were you up against?
Amethyst Steel, the best deck in Lorcana.
So Amethyst Steel, Amethyst Steel.
Vince.
Actually, I played a really interesting first round against a local and friend of the podcast, J Flow, who Jenna, shout out. She had the spiciest Amber Steel list that I saw.
She always does. She always does.
I was not ready. I don't know that I've ever actually played against her, but I've heard of it, and I'll be darned, it was definitely spicy. Mr. Big, I was like, that's such a cool card. There's is it a Mulan or an area? It's an Amber card that quests for like 4. Oh no, it's a Madrigal. Is the Isabella Madrigal?
Oh,
the
Isabella,
3/3 that quests for 4. She played that sound, and I was like, oh well, that's a problem.
If you sing a song that turn as well, you can't challenge her.
Yeah,
it's gross.
And so played several cards. I actually had to learn. We did a judge call, and we learned that. I called it because I wanted to know. But Captain Hook 1/2 with Challenger +2 can challenge into a Mr. Big, because when the challenge is declared, Captain Hook has 1 strength, and therefore the condition for Mr. Big is met, and he's able to be challenged. And then now that the challenge is initiated, then the Challenger +2 strength gets added to the hook, which allows him to, he didn't need the extra to take out the Mr. Big, but still. So characters with Challenger do get around that Mr. Big, or there's a couple other characters that have, like, if you have X strength or more or less or whatever, you can't challenge me. So that declaration happens before, so it was really interesting. But great matchups. Played against Amethyst Steel, played against the Dogs deck, the Chroma Dogs. I was able to
Seems like that deck's still going strong
into the top cut with my wife Kirsten.
My wife,
and
did I had that queued up?
But she was also on Amethyst Steel if we had played for some reason. And then I played Blurple in the top cut, and then I played a rematch of one of my previous Amethyst Steel match in the finals. So It was
Amethyst.
yeah, quite the day, but it was a lot of fun.
Amethyst Steel, man. I don't know if you saw, Vince, my meta report this week. I did 7 stores here in the greater region. We went all the way 2 hours out to Olney, Illinois. 5 of the 7 decks were Amethyst Steel. And at the end of the whole thing, I went through the last 3 weeks of set championships that I've covered and reported decks on. Not a single blurple. 10 out of 17 of those set championship winners here in the area, Amethyst Steel. It's
not a single
insane.
blurple.
Not a single
crazy.
blurple.
I'm pretty sure Blurple is the dominant deck in this meta, and no other deck matters. And why is it?
So
this meta is terrible. Right?
So the other 2 decks, I assume, were Amber Steel.
No,
then?
Actually, it was John from
Dog.
Rules of Villainy. John's no, he was on Baja, Emerald Amethyst or Emerald Sapphire, and Dogs. It was Dogs with Tom Casey over at Endless. Yeah. So
Wow.
I actually reached out to Tom the night before. I said, hey. The night that I was recording, I said, thank you for not playing Amethyst Steel. This will make sense tomorrow when I am talking about the local meta report, because 5 of the 7 decks are essentially the same, give or take a few cards.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know. I feel like there's a podcast. I don't know. Maybe it was with these 3 guys who say they're going to the competitive top tables, and they were talking about relatively recently about this Amethyst Steel deck.
Oh yeah,
and how it might be one of the best decks.
I think it's pretty.
Either of you?
I've heard of them.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think it's
tools of villainy.
Tools of villainy.
I don't know. I'm in a mood.
It's those laws of heroes. But let's get into Underworld news. Sponsored as always by our friends over at TCG Player by using the friendly code of partner.tcgplayer.com/ROV.
I feel like I feel like I need to say legally that we are not sponsored by them. This is not an ad. This is not an ad. This is suggesting this is where you buy your singles with our affiliate code. So.
But I mean, hey, TCG, you can sponsor us.
Good,
you could. I'm just saying, you could. You could. This is where a true sponsorship could go.
Yeah.
Always need a sponsor for.
I need a playset of Yzma's Enchanteds. So.
But yeah, so it is probably a little too late to order your cards for the DLC in Milwaukee, but
there'll be vendors there.
Never too late to order. Pre-order cards for
pre-order.
I wouldn't
cards?
do that actually, but you can pre-order products. You can pre-order products.
Worst, not an ad ever.
No, but you could pre-order Whispers in the Well. There's plenty of stuff out there, and you could order them from support. Obviously, we want to encourage you to support your local TCG. LGS. Thank you.
Too many letters.
I know, too many letters. I'm having a moment. All right. So support your local game store.
Your donation to Rules of Villainy for just 25 cents a day can help Vince get his monologue correct.
Hooked on phonics over here.
Just 25 cents a day will get Vince the proper education that he needs in order to complete the sentences that are in his brain.
It's all right, but let's get into the news, which is that we already talked a little bit about the set champs, but reveal season continues with Whispers in the Well at a rapid pace. We're getting Warenberg. Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds
wrong. You did it wrong again. St. Louis, didn't you?
But yeah, any cards that stick out from either of you that you're pretty excited about?
We talked about some exciting ones last week. We're going to talk about some exciting ones.
None.
None to Andy apparently, but
they're not legal at the DLC.
Oh yeah,
I got my racehorse blinders on. I'm not even looking at the Infinity side of it. You're not gonna catch me.
I am.
You're not gonna catch me slipping.
I think I'm gonna sleeve up Ruby Fossa for the Infinity side of it. I can't wait
the
to play it.
The Infinity event is gonna be the wild, wild west. Maybe I sleep.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe I sleeve up.
Yeah, if you could get a ticket for it, we'll see.
You think it's gonna sell
think
out
we'll-
instantly?
I don't know.
Because it's a easy way, I think, to get the Mulan.
Oh yeah, it's free. Free Mulan.
Well, not free.
Free.
It's a
Cost of
$70.
entry.
It's a $70 Mulan, but I think
Yeah.
that's like a
$75
probably-
Mulan.
Is
Yeah.
it 75? I thought it was 7. What doesn't matter? Whatever. $5 at that point.
We'll talk about it
it's
later.
$5.
Yeah.
uh,
As far as the reveals go for Whispers, we'll have a couple of weeks after the DLC to talk all about those as they come
For
out.
sure.
There are a lot of exciting
So-
cards there, and I can't wait
but
to
no
talk about
whispers from either of you right now.
them. We're going to be talking about Whispers in Constituents Corner actually with one of our
Alright,
questions.
All
So,
right.
yeah.
All right. Well,
It's a Bruno question, Vince.
Fine.
Sorry.
Fine. All right. That's fine. Fine. We'll move on. To the fact that we've got this week is obviously the Disney Lorcana Challenge in Milwaukee, Wisconsin this weekend, starting Friday. Well, pre-registration is Friday. And then
Vendors
the
are
event
open.
is on Saturday and Sunday. Are the vendors open?
Yeah. And if
Imagine
you
so,
go
yeah.
to the vendors and you tell them you're fans of the Rules of Villainy podcast,
They'll be
they
like,
probably
"Who?"
won't give you any
No, they-
sort of
They
discount.
will have.
But you
no
can
idea.
absolutely tell them that. There's nothing that stops you from telling them that. It won't get you a discount. But
I thought my ad was bad. This is even worse.
no, I'm just trying to get people to, spread the love. Tell
Spread the
a
love.
friend. And if you're
Tom,
at the
Tom
DLC,
Warren, one of our locals, went all the way out. Sorry to interrupt you. Went all the way out to Aldi talking about us, and I got to feature a deck of a set championship winner from 2 hours away. And I was just like, Tom, that's really, really kind. He's like, yeah, he was really interested in getting his deck on the on your local report, and I was like, I appreciate that, Tom. MVP
Nice.
move right there. Yeah,
nice.
but
It's
get the
so
word
great.
out. Spread the rules of villainy.
Well, I'll just say
Come
this: the
see
best
us.
way, though, the best way to spread the love, though, is to come join our Discord to get to know everybody else and join the community in our Discord. And yeah, of course, you can come see us. We'll have some swag on us, some stickers, and potentially some business cards here.
we got the
which
business
Andy-
cards. Let's
Andy
go.
is
we
showing
got a lot.
a lot of business cards here.
Big stack with the custom backing.
I am doing a total disservice for our audio listeners on the fact that this is a custom Lorcana S card.
And
That
then if
has
you
our
already
gorgeous
know and
ruby
love
dragon.
this card, hello, nice to meet you. Please subscribe. This card, thank you for subscribing. I'm so glad I got to meet you in person. I hope you're having fun at the DLC. We've got all kinds of them.
Yeah. Are these
and
cards legal to play? Can you put it in your deck?
They are
No.
not.
But you can play with us.
Bummer.
We can just show them to each other and admire them.
And then I have here 2 cards that neither Brad nor Vince know about. And these are
Oh,
They're shiny!
They're shiny.
Hollow
They're so
foil.
pretty. Hollow foil.
Rules of Villainy cards. We have a very limited supply of these. But maybe if you beat one of us in a round
So yeah,
of the DLC, or better yet, maybe if you lose, we incentivize that. Like, is allowed? Are we gonna get a judge call?
No,
Can't do
People who
that.
don't
No,
watch
I-
this
do that.
I
episode.
think they gotta win. And I'll be honest with you, the best pathway they've got is by playing me.
Oh, I thought it wasn't going to be pointing to me. I thought you were setting that up because I would have said it about myself as well. But I appreciate you being honest.
Or maybe if you can guess the exact number of cards in Vince's deck when you play him, or if you meet him, then maybe he'll give you one. But
Well, I'm going to tell you this much, just so I'll give you a hint. It will be between 60 and 72. It
you're
will
not
not
going for a new
exceed-
record.
It will not exceed 72.
You're not going for a new record, huh?
No new records will
Oh,
be set in
man.
Milwaukee.
Oh man! All right.
I feel like Andy's a little disappointed. I think
I am.
he wants to.
Oh,
I'm not saying I won't ever break that record,
I'm-
but it won't be in Milwaukee.
maybe honestly, maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is like a moment where just like Mark McGuire moment where it'll just like never be topped ever again. Actually, I don't know baseball enough.
I'm gonna lay the gauntlet down. Right? That's not that term of phrase there. But I'm going to put out the challenge right now because I think we're putting this out a day before Milwaukee, a day or
Tonight.
two.
Right now.
Tonight.
Live.
Oh my God.
We're live.
We're live.
Between the time this drops and Milwaukee starts, if you guys can get us to 600 subscribers, Vince will run 73 cards in DLC Milwaukee.
Oh, Vince is like, no.
Yeah,
It's
one,
such a small window, and two, I think you have to have
yeah,
your
that's
deck.
not gonna
submitted before.
happen.
Yeah.
How many subscribers are we at today? Like
566, I think.
5. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
that's like
Yeah, it's not bad.
The last
not-
time
it's
Vince
not
said
far.
that's not going to happen, he
It's not far, but
was
it's a
playing
very
puppies
small
the
window.
next weekend.
I love that. Yeah, let's but speaking of Milwaukee, we've got this little fantasy draft we're gonna do here. So I'm gonna kick it over to you, Andy, to talk a little bit about what we're doing.
Yeah, we had a couple of our friends here in the St. Louis area who suggested we do like a little fantasy draft, kind of like they did with the DLC Bologna, where the casters all chose some of their favorite players, maybe the ones they thought were going to be the best, maybe the ones they were, wanted to wish the best of luck on, whatever their logic was. They chose a couple players, and then I don't actually know what the scoring criteria was that they had for who won, but I know they checked in a couple times during the broadcast. Ultimately, we've got our own set of scoring here, but we're just probably going to run through and pick a couple players that we want to represent our team here for the DLC. We're going to do, forget how many we said. Oh, we're going to do 3. We're going to draft 3 competitors from the St. Louis area. And then we're also going to automatically get to draft ourselves. So put our
So it's gonna be a total
deck where
of
our
6
mouth is, and see if we can get some.
It'll be a total of 12, but there'll be
Yep.
9 other individuals from the community on here.
And
So
we've got a big list. There are over 20 plus people from St. Louis going.
I know.
We don't have a time to draft everyone, maybe in future DLCs or something. So for now, we're just gonna do a quick one here.
Who's going first?
I don't know who wants. You said you wanted to go based on lowest to highest in Elo, Lorcana
I've
Elo.
been dismally bad at the DLC.
Yeah, so you want to go first, Vince, and then are you better than me, Brad, or am I better than you? I don't know what my Elo was.
I think you guys are pretty close, but I actually think Andy's slightly ahead.
Probably.
Brad.
Yeah.
All right, so then Vince can go first here. You've got a list of some people here, Vince, but you obviously don't have to go off of them.
My top pick without question is going to be. Well, you pick yourself. You're on your own.
But you can pick me as well.
I'm going to pick.
Oh yeah, I was 3,000 paces ahead. I'm ranked 3,000 higher than Brad.
Everybody, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks.
Actually, Brad might be lower than Vince. Hold on. Maybe we.
Stop it. There ain't no way.
Brad is definitely not lower than.
What is?
me.
I don't even know what. Oh, now I know what Vince's melee name was. Okay, never mind. Whoa. Okay,
yeah,
never mind.
It's not even. It's not.
That's
even
like
close.
4 or 5K ahead of Vince. Never mind. Kirsten's like top 1,000 or something. It was.
This is exactly though. I am picking Kirsten.
All right.
My number 1 pick.
Of course, I figured you. I figured you that, Vince. That's fine. That's fine. Brad, you're up.
I get to go next.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. I feel like this is like it's not. We're not ranking, right? We're just picking now, and like it's total points. So I don't have any strategy to this whatsoever. So I'm gonna go with my good friend and top 8 dream ruiner Aiden is my first pick.
Okay,
Aiden's my
that's
first
pick.
pick. Yeah.
That's a good pick. Good pick. He
Good
was
pick.
number
Good,
2
good.
at this Elsa set champs that we casted.
He was, yeah.
Very good. And he's done exceptionally well at all of the set champs that I've gone to with him. I don't like showing up the same set champs as him. It's not nerve wracking.
Scary.
Yeah, it's scary. Okay, so then
All
for
right.
my first round pick, without a doubt, we are going to keep the team together. I'm going to go with Andy, Grapes Andy.
Let's
Andy's
go.
Team Andy going strong. So we got, and then I get to pick again, right? Because it's a snake draft.
Yep. Snake draft.
All right. Well, I got to go with my boy Ron then. We're going
Ah,
with Dracula.
no! That's who I was gonna go with.
Nope, too bad.
I'm so bad.
You got Brad to go through as well. So
That's all right though.
All right. I'm up. You took Ron. We can scratch him off this list here. This is riveting content as I narrate what's going on here. And I even clicked the wrong button. My pick is going to be. I think I want to take Lily.
ooh.
Oh, she's sneaky. She's fast with those decks. I don't know if she's playing Dogs or Amber Steel. Looks like we're predicting Amber Steel based on the games we've seen her lately.
Yeah, the analysts out there, but you never know. We do a lot of scouting. We have a whole team that crunch the numbers, statistically look at the odds, and but that is a good pick. Brad is going. This is like a redraft league. Like the next DLC, we're going to draft again. You don't need to pick the keepers. The ones Brad's picking the younger players here that are going to be good for way longer than anyone I've picked, because we're all gonna be in homes soon here.
We'll be playing Lorcana though. We'll be running our own set champs at the nursing home. Competing with the
Ryan's
players.
Nursing Home LLC card store. Sorry, that's an inside joke for the team. All right, Vince, you're up. You get 2 picks here.
Yeah. All right. So I think I am going to go with our. I'm going to go with our coach. I'm going to go with the team captain, Jimmy.
That was a good one. I'm going to regret. I'm going to regret that. Vince, it's another one.
Final pick.
Your final pick.
You know what? I'm gonna go with NA qualifier Justin Ward as my final pick.
That's a good team. That's a good team.
That's a good one.
Look at that team. Kirsten, Jimmy, Justin, and Vince. Wow.
We know who's carrying this team, that's for sure.
It ain't me. I can tell you that.
All right, I got a big pick ahead of me here, and I hope it doesn't start a rivalry between the kids here. But I got 3 kids I'm looking at, and they're all very, very good at the game. But I think I have to go with my boy Mikey. I saw what he was running last night, because we're recording a night early. Last night at game night, I played Mikey, and he's playing a pretty mean Amber Steel right now. I even traded decks with him to play that a little bit. I think he's going to do really well.
I see what the strategy though that the mayor is doing here.
Brad drafted all Amethyst Steel or Amber Steel,
but I see the strategy here is that he, like you say, we're aging voters. He's trying to court the younger voters so he can stay in office for a lot longer over here.
Brad's out here hoping they get him 6-7 points, for each round. All right, we just lost like all of our younger viewers there for sure.
I think we lost all of our older viewers who have no idea.
We just lost all of our viewers. All right, so
this whole segment is very localized content.
That's fine. You can skip through this. There's timestamps below, and if you're this far in, you might as well wait. We're almost done here. Brad has drafted an all Amber Steel comp, basically.
That's right.
And Vince looks kind of mixed. Kind of mixed results there. We don't know what everyone's going to play, but I think I'm going to stick with the all Amethyst Steel comp, and I think I'm going to round it out with one of the proven best women in Disney Lorcana. We're going to go with Lady Britt as my last pick here.
Britt.
Keep Ron and Britt together here. And it's like synergy points, right? In fantasy, you got the wide receiver and the quarterback, and they get points by like throwing the ball to each other. I pretend like I know how it works, guys, but I'm just trying to get some extra points.
you're playing against the like women's champion. That she's on the team there.
Yeah, she's very good. So I'm glad that made it all the way.
So
Me.
I actually think that's
She
I
was
think
going to be
these are
my
all good teams.
Britt was going to be my second round probably before I decided to go the whole children
kids,
route there. Yeah. Support them.
No.
Support the youths in the Disney Lorcana League here that excel and have fun with the game.
I'll tell you what, there are a lot of great players. I almost went with Ace. I thought about Britt as well.
Literally the whole list is
the whole list.
honestly,
but honestly,
honestly,
the moment that Andy took Ron, I was like, oh, my pick.
This is a kangaroo court. This is throwing it out.
I'm glad
you had first pick, Vince. You
but
could have gotten Ron if you wanted.
Yeah, but you would have then taken Kirsten.
I'm not so sure that he would.
Maybe.
I'm not so sure that he would.
Maybe.
And I might have. I might have before he did.
I have my Team Andy's locked in solid though. That was my first pick, and it didn't matter who was available. Didn't matter who dropped to me in the draft.
Yeah,
that's what I was going for.
That's fine.
That was fun.
That's fine. All right. Well, let us know in the comments below who you think, for those that are in the St. Louis area that know this, and if not, even if you're not, you should join our Discord because we talk a lot, and maybe you can be in future drafts in the future.
You want a lot of notifications because you should join our Discord.
Well, do you know? I mean, like, listen, I'm not that active.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's this we talk a lot, Vince? Why are you grouping yourself in with us?
I like when you just pop up and you're like, "Oh, hey guys, like, what did I miss here? 300 messages."
Earlier today, he just like stopped in to like be like, "Hey guys, Bluebell ice cream is actually kind of gross." And then that was like, "Bye."
Yeah, this might be.
That's listen. Now I have to defend myself because the way Andy made that sound.
That's basically what he said.
Totally random. And yes, I did say my hot take was that Bluebell ice cream.
Okay.
My hot take was that it's overrated, but it was in response.
You're right. It was not a targeted. It wasn't a.
It's not like I just came into a thread. It was like,
did you guys see the new Horn King card?
I don't like Bluebell.
It was like, how can I stir up the Discord today? Let's talk about Bluebell ice cream and how it's overrated.
It is though. He's right. Vince is right though. I have to agree with him.
Oh, we're moving on from this, or there's going to be a fight.
All right.
What's next? Constituents Corner?
Let's take it
First
over,
question in
Mr.
Constituents Corner. Why is Bluebell ice cream so bad?
No. That's our quest or challenge. Bluebell ice cream is.
That's a bit we haven't done in a while. Well, maybe next week.
That's a throwback. All right.
Yeah. All right. First question from Jackalope Spam. He asks, "What's your favorite boost cards so far? In general, are the boost cards even worth the effort?" Of course, he is referring to the new ability in Whispers in the Well that we alluded to in the intro on this episode. Do you guys have a card picked out?
I think
you have to know what mine is.
You should take it.
I should what? I should take it first?
Yeah, you should take it.
Oh, well, it's very obvious. Do you guys have any guesses what mine is?
Scar.
No.
Is there a Scar boost card?
Cheshire Cat?
There is a Scar boost card, but it is
and
not.
It's not your favorite?
It's the opposite. Come on.
Jacques?
It's Simba. And it's Simba. He's the new Mufasa. He's a 7-cost inkable card. Boost 3. It is an expensive boost. He's a 7-cost as well, and he's not even a Floodborn, so he comes out at cost, unless you can boost him from or get from his ability. Anyway, his ability is Timely Alliance. Whenever you put a card under this character, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a character card, you may play that character for free, and they interplay Exerted. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of your deck, which is a reverse from Mufasa. Mufasa just left it on the top of the deck, but yeah, everybody knows who's been listening to me for the last however long we've been on here, over a year. Mufasa is one of my favorite decks, Ruby Fasa. I even alluded to earlier in the podcast that I'm probably going to sleeve up a version of that for the Infinity event this weekend if I choose to play in it, because it's an exciting deck for me to play, and they're putting a new card out there that does that same ability. It is expensive though. It is 7 costs to get him out there and 3 boost, which means that you got to pay 3 ink to put something underneath that card just to get the ability. I enjoy the roulette aspect of it. Yeah. maybe not the best boost card, but it's probably going to be my favorite when I try it out.
Andy,
How about you guys?
any thoughts?
No comments. There are no current core tournament legal boost cards in Disney.
Oh, you gotta like one. How about that Tremaine that they revealed?
I
on the
don't
main
know
stage?
any of them. I'm not paying attention to. Is Hades a
Oh my
boost card?
Not yet.
No.
Not
I don't
yet.
see one.
Okay, I meant the iconic. That's a cool looking one.
Yeah.
I'm honestly like I love the lore that's in it, but I'm honestly not a big fan. Are all the boost cards the one that have like the like tan like
Yeah,
coloring?
the whisper cards. They're all the whisper cards. Yeah.
So I'm not the biggest fan of that. It kind of makes them all look amber, in my opinion.
Not the big colored bar across the middle. That
Yeah, I get that, Brad.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I think
it's not my style,
I would just say reserve judgment until you see them.
So certainly, right.
Because a lot of times, sometimes these cards don't translate as well. Like for instance, like when we see these, like when they revealed the Enchanteds for some of these on the Lorecast, I was like, and then they were showing them like on the actual physical card. I was like, all right, okay, I get it. So it's like I get it. So I always feel that way though a little bit. So sometimes I have to remind myself that it's good
fair, and I never want to like discourage like doing different things. I love the fact that all of these things are new and different. It's just personally, this one isn't my favorite so far, so I'm not too stoked. I honestly don't know many of them. I kind of look at cards and I go, oh, that's cool, or that seems mid, and then I kind of just move on because I gotta focus on the DLC. So no current favorite. I'll get back to you. I'm gonna take a rain check.
Sure.
Jack.
How about you, Vince? You got a favorite boost card?
Mine is the Merlin completing his research. When this character is banished in a challenge, if he had a card under him, draw 2 cards. So he's a play 2, boost 2, quest for 2, and so he gets 2 cards.
Sapphire? Is he Sapphire?
Where are you looking at?
He's a Amethyst card.
Amethyst. Okay, so in Blurple, you turn 1 like Diablo or the new Sultan, the 1-cost 1/1 quest for 2 in Sapphire. You turn 2 this card, and then you turn 3 boost this card plus play another 1-drop, and then you just like try and go wide and aggro, and they banish this card, and you get two cards. How much is the quest for?
Quest for 2.
That's pretty good. 2-cost 1/1 or 2-cost 2.
2-cost 0/3.
Anyway,
that's its only downside.
we don't really care if it goes away, right? We get 2 cards.
Right.
2-cost 0/3. That's not bad. Quest for 2 inkable.
It is not inkable.
Rip. Okay, never mind. Throw in the
I
bulk
know.
bin. Next card.
He's not actually in Dreamborn, so I can't even see that card.
Musha reports.
What is this a leak? Did you leak that card, Vince? Were you not supposed to? No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I didn't leak it. The source was the Lorcana app. It looks like.
Yeah.
So it looks like it was on the app. The other one I really like is this Cheshire Cat, the Inexplicable. When you put a card under this character, you may move up to 2 damage counters from chosen character, chosen opposing character. Also an Amethyst card.
It's like a new bell.
Yeah. It's like 5 costs, isn't it?
I think it's cheap.
It's a 3-cost inkable, but then it's a boost 2. So yeah.
Is it from this character or from any character to any character?
So when you put a card under this character, you may move up to 2 damage counters from chosen character to chosen opposing character.
Okay, from any character to opposing.
So it's
the same as Bell, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
2 damage.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. And
it's like 3/4.
I feel like Bell comes out at like the perfect time in the game right now. Like 5 cost. Yeah. Like if you told me like,
Elsa.
Yeah, right after Elsa or even without Elsa, like just like Genie or something into something and then Bell it or whatever. But I feel like we have Panic, right? That's a 4-cost spell that doesn't see play, I think, because there's no damage there on 4. You want it on 5.
I would just say though, at least though you could repeat play this, right?
You can do
so
it.
Like you could continue to boost it. and get that same effect. So that's not bad once you get it
Not
on there.
terrible.
So it basically costs the same as a bell, but bell remove it's 3, right? 3
3, yeah.
damage.
Yeah.
So you get
And
1
she-
less damage.
4. What is the body on this?
3/4. So still not bad, but it only quests for 1. But it is at a
Yeah.
turn 3
But a
inkable.
3 cost 3/4, inkable 3/4 is good. With an ability is good. So that's like
So it's actually not a bad.
that's what we're
I think
playing
it's
right
good.
now in Amethyst Steel is like
Yeah.
Dragon Genie, right? It's like 3 cost 3/4 with the ability of alert, essentially. Old school alert.
Can I ask you guys a question about that?
Alert.
Yes.
Alert. Did you at any point at all in the last 2 sets where that Dragon Genie existed confuse him for an illusion at all? I know the card doesn't say illusion, but just looking at him, does he make you feel like he's an illusion?
Not really. But neither do the
that's-
illusion cards, honestly. Like that Abu elephant, the
Yeah.
big one, the 3/7 that quests and gets lore equal to somebody else's lore. That doesn't look like an illusion to me. I feel like you gotta at a glance, it doesn't seem like same with Giant Cobra almost. They don't really seem like they're disappearing as much as maybe they could be, but I don't know. I'm not an
I don't know.
I'm not an
It's
artist.
it always crosses my mind. I don't know why I confuse it with that, but I'm like, oh yeah, that's not an illusion. But just a little tangent there. All right,
All right.
we're done with
question.
boosting there. All right, second question and last one for the segment is from Paul. He asked, "I am heading to my first DLC. Congratulations, Paul. Good luck this weekend. What is something you wish you knew going into your first DLC?" And no BS answers. Just have fun,
well,
make friends.
But before
What you should do.
I think you should have fun and make friends.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, I was
Yeah.
just looking. I kind of see though why you think the genie does look like an illusion, because the thematics behind a lot of that has this like kind of like whiteless little behind it or whatever.
Yeah,
and
just
that genie
weird.
has that flame that
Yeah.
goes out, and so kind of gives it that like thematic approach. But no, I mean truthfully, for going to your first DLC, I think it's just, one. There's a lot of people there. I would expect a little bit of chaos too. This being the first one of the North American second season that we have,
And a new company running it. Yeah.
New company. So be patient, and try not to be overwhelmed a little bit, because I think they can be somewhat overwhelming events. Any like these large crowds are and stuff. I mean, especially like, I won't compare this so much to Gen Con, because one thing that's nice about Gen Con, I think, is that there are a ton of people, so it can feel overwhelming, but they're not playing one event. This is one, like everybody that's going there is going there to play Lorcana. They're going there to enjoy
Except
Lorcana.
Mrs. Mayor.
She's just going to hang out and support.
No, there's others. There's others. There's a whole ROV cheerleading squad. I guess maybe that's not the right term. The support crew.
But the point is, the
Support
whole
crew.
reason
Hit crew.
folks are going is pit crew.
There
Honestly,
it is.
I like
Andy's
it.
the one
ROV pit crew.
We wouldn't be able to do it
stop.
without him. We wouldn't be able to do it without him.
TM. But yeah, so, and honestly, I think the thing is really just go to have fun, because like honestly, these events can be really, really unpredictable. And we're going to talk more about this, I think, in the main segment as we talk about this, but like, as much practice as you put in and stuff, sometimes like the luck of the matches you get, and who you're playing, like winning die rolls and stuff. It's like, so I think a lot of times it's like, yes, you can go in with the agenda that like, I'm going to do well and stuff, but as Brad reminded me today when I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna play at Milwaukee, like I'm kind of stressing about it. He's like, just have fun. And I think that's actually the right answer.
Yeah, and it's to bounce off of that. We talked about last week about just trying to stay positive, remembering to have fun. I think is the most important, and I struggle with it quite a bit. One thing I wish I knew.
Said no BS answers. You guys have
I'm
given
not.
nothing
No,
but BS
I'm
answers.
giving a
You
real
have
answer.
fun like 10 times.
Yeah, it's true.
Sorry,
but
Paul.
that's number one.
Well,
But
we're about to spend 30 minutes in our main segment about everything
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
DLC.
this is a segue question. So, but what I wish I knew going into it is I love this game. I spend so many hours a week, prepping content, hosting at game night and everything. I feel like I can play this game all day until I go to the DLC. The competitive nature of the DLC is grueling, and you have to remember to have fun, because after what's our first day now, that was 8 rounds, I think
8 rounds, yeah.
In the first season it was 9, and by the time that 8th and 9th round came, so mentally drained. And it was, I learned from the first one that, okay, I need to bring snacks and everything to keep, just keep morale up, talk to people, have fun, whatever. But like halfway through the day, I'm like, I still have 5 more games to play. And I'm playing in Atlanta. I was playing Ruby Sapphire. So those are long games. And so the day can feel incredibly long, especially if you're not having a good luck streak, and it could be, dejecting and not want to continue on. But if you remember to have fun and just socialize, have fun with your opponent, talk to them, like that's what kept me in Seattle. Was I just, everybody that I played, we just went back and forth and had a good time. I knew I wasn't going to top cut, so it's like, what are we even doing here? I'm playing for points to get my prize wall stuff or whatever. So
Not in Atlanta, you weren't.
not in Atlanta, but that's
set 3
that,
Atlanta. You played Ruby Sapphire. You
Yeah.
played Ruby Sapphire before it was cool. I bet you had BLT in that deck, didn't you?
I might have. I don't know.
Yeah, you had like a one of BLT spice in there. I know
I don't think
it.
I don't think I ran BLT in that. I definitely did in Ruby.
I heard.
I was gonna
On that
say,
note,
like, I
I
know you
heard-
put it in your Ruby.
Yeah.
I heard that
Ruby salsa.
BLT might be at the DLC. I don't know. I'm just saying.
There are rumblings of a live action BLT.
There
at
are
the
they
DLC.
just. Hey, it's not. I'm just saying, maybe,
Like
maybe.
what? Like
Yeah.
somebody,
You have
like
to find
somebody
out.
from Disney, or somebody from.
No, like the brave little tailor, Mickey Mouse, may.
Yeah,
he's gonna
it's gonna be there.
You'll have to. Vince is.
Let's
super
remind
excited.
everybody, Vince does not spend a lot of time in our Discord to know about this stuff.
Don't give it
Vince is
away.
finding out with
Don't give it
everybody.
away.
I'm not.
He'll meet
That's
BLT at
That's all.
the DLC.
Oh,
BLT
God.
DLC. Hashtag BLT DLC. Put it in the comments.
Just wait till you see what
bacon,
I'm
lettuce,
doing.
and tomato. Yeah.
But before I hand it off to Andy for his advice, Paul, my biggest thing is to just mentally prepare for the long day. It can be it's only going to be as fun as you allow it to be. You have to remember to I know it sounds like a BS answer, but you have to remember to try to have fun, because otherwise it's just going to be a long day of grindy games. And you start questioning yourself at certain times if it's not going well. So you have to be. I wish I knew going into Atlanta how mentally prepared I needed to be, and then I improved for Chicago and for Seattle and everything, and now I'm feeling better going into it. I'm with Vince though, like I'm back and forth on what I want to play. That's a whole nother thing that we'll touch on, but mental preparation I think is number one, and just being being aware of that.
Yep.
About-
What's
how about you,
Andy's
man?
answer gonna be? Get good.
Yeah,
Next
you guys need to, like, everyone listening, I want to let you know, I hope you skipped over all of that stuff before. That is all nice and fine and dandy. You're here to win. You paid $75 of your hard-earned money. You need to get a good night's rest. You need to have a full water bottle, a good breakfast, and you need to be locked in, laser focused, and in the dojo, dialed in, ready to win every single match. And just, they aren't your friends, they're your enemies, okay? Everyone needs to be banished to the discard all the way until you are crowned the DLC king of Milwaukee, okay? But seriously, have fun, make friends. It's a great time. We'll talk more about some of the specifics of how you can quest and challenge your way to those top tables in our main segment. Take it away,
Which
man.
is starting
Wait,
after
no.
this brief
Outro.
little interlude.
if you would like your questions answered on this
I would.
outrageous podcast, feel free to comment below your questions on any of our videos. This one, obviously, if you're on, or any of our socials at Rules of Villainy, or join our Discord with the link in the description, where Vince is not present.
Join our Discord. What's that backwards? You remember that Simpsons episode where it's like join the Navy, but it was like NIOJ for like years. I
don't know.
We need that like subliminal messaging on to like join the Discord.
Maybe that'll be the name of this episode. Just backwards.
Backwards join our Discord. That should be. That's actually kind of clever. I wonder if folks would get it.
No, the name to our video is going to be hidden with letters throughout each of our backgrounds, all throughout the episode, and you'll have to figure out what the name is.
Yeah, that's
like
a good
detective
good plug.
In whispers in the well.
Yeah, I'm sorry I brought it
a
up.
big section of our Discord is trying to decipher all the Ravensburger clues. That
We're
going to
talk about that a bunch next week, though, right?
Yeah.
When whispers
You're the
in
one
the
who
well
brought it up. In the
matters.
moment
I know.
Andy,
It
that
was a
came out of
mistake.
Andy's mouth,
Regret.
he was like, oh no. But yeah, let's get into the main segment here and talk a little bit about the DLC prep that we have. So we have talked a little bit about having fun. Andy, I think, mentioned the snacks, making sure that you're hydrated and you're well equipped for the event. I definitely recommend that because there's lots of gaps in between the rounds, right?
Sometimes depends if you go to time. It depends if you're playing
tell you
against
what,
the
though,
mayor or not.
Even when I've gone to time, though, I'll end and it'll still be a decent amount of time.
The Ravensburger Play Hub is a tested, well-oiled, top-tier, papaya-colored tournament running machine that will zip around these corners at blazing speeds. We're talking sub 3-second pit stops. This software is going to have no hiccups. That is a Villain Vince promise. All right. If it's not, for every time the Play Hub messes up, Vince will add one more card to his deck.
I am screwed.
No.
I will have hundreds of cards.
I mean, we've seen it in there. I don't know. We've seen it in the past when we weren't using the Play Hub, where even in Seattle we had like an hour-long outage with Melee. There was a whole round where we could have had a whole round in between. But what I'm really go ahead.
No, what I was gonna say is like I get it's like nobody wants to be super negative about it or anything, and like I think we all recognize. I think that Ravensburger is working through the problems and they will settle through any of these issues. But with that being said, I mean I think it would be Well, I don't want to also mislead folks. Like, there are probably going to be hiccups with the Ravensburger Play Hub. And I think you just need to expect that. And I mean, I think that's true with the tournament in general. Like Andy kind of alluded to earlier and said, we are changing from a new vendor that we had last year. So this is their first DLC that they have run. I
think they've run other card game tournaments, but it's the first time in the DLC. Yeah, so.
Absolutely. But I would just say it's like, if you've been to a DLC previously, you may have to think that this is going to be different, right? It's going to be different in a lot of respects. It's going to be different in the sense that we're using the Play Hub. It's going to be different in the sense that we've got a whole new company that's running the event. It's going to be different in that the structure of the event is entirely different than it was last time. So we've done
best of
2-game format. We're now doing best of 3. It's now a 2-day event. Now it's not going to be a 2-day event for everyone, but for the folks that are going all the way to the top tables, which we hope, many of our listeners are, and that everybody on our team,
Andy, Ron, and Britt, will go the farthest.
I'm rooting
and all of our other teammates.
Listen, I don't have to pump up my team because they know they're that good. But so they're going to go to day 2. So we've got a very different kind of expectations being set a little bit. But what I think we can carry forward, right, is that patience, right? There's going to be time between rounds. You're going to get hungry, right? So the good thing is this convention center is actually downtown in Milwaukee. It's centrally located to a lot of places. I know our team has been very active at looking at like places we can go to eat afterwards
Or
and
to
stuff,
not
but there's
go.
places to go.
Like that sus pizza place I saw.
Yeah. Oh, places to go get lunch, to go get food.
What lunch?
Or
What's
whatever.
lunch?
Well, it's the meal in between.
Never heard of it. Not gonna get one.
Between breakfast.
Not gonna
and
happen
dinner.
unless you're just like forfeiting round 5 for fun.
As of this moment, I think it's all but confirmed we're not getting a lunch break.
There is no lunch break, and there's also a very interesting and kind of vague rule. Well, actually, not so vague, but there's a rule that basically says no outside food or drinks unless medically like a medical reason, which is kind of a harsh way to say it. Like,
I can tell you this. Get that doctor on speed dial. Vince Hayden needs snackies.
So I think snackies.
Prescription. What are you gonna do?
I think reasonable snacks in your bag, concealed, are probably fine. Water bottles got to be fine. I think they're probably just trying to, get rid of.
You ain't bringing no junior bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah, you're not ordering like a couple large pies and like, oh yeah, that's me having DoorDash come over while you're in the middle of a game or something like. I think, but ultimately, if you do finish around early, like Vince said, there's a bunch of places. I think a friend of our podcast, Aladdin's Castle, did a video recently. We'll make Brad link it down below, where he talked about some of the places around the event for before or after the event as well. Dinner places, but it should be a lot of fun. I think
I'm sure also the convention hall will also have
no, that was the other thing. They have stuff in the inside, like snack vendor, like convenience section or whatever.
I will always say, for folks, I mean, if this is your first foray into any type of event, obviously like going outside of the convention to go get food is going to be significantly far more affordable than within the convention space. I mean, that's true of pretty much every event that does this. But that's, I didn't realize that I wasn't maybe paying attention to the schedule as detailed as either of you were, that there's no dedicated lunch break like there has.
They just announced it recently, and we were discussing it in our Discord.
See, this is what happens. If you join the Discord, you will stay informed.
Unless you're like Vince and you don't actually like go into the Discord after you've joined it.
Listen, okay, I've had our Discord muted for a few days, all right?
It's okay to take breaks.
But I don't know. I have opinions about that, but I'll let that maybe. No, you know what? I'm not gonna let it slide. All right, you should have
snackies
food. You gotta have snackies. All right.
I think you're allowed to bring snackies. You probably just can't bring like a hoagie.
Well, I would say don't litter also. Like, if you've got make sure everything's sealed too, right?
Certainly.
Like, people have cards that are expensive. Don't be plopping down your, Coke bottle, like your empty, Quick Trip. Not your empty, but your Quick Trip
bottom of your bag with your melted M&Ms.
Don't spill your extra large Quick Trip Dr. Pepper all over the table and the floor like Brad did at a set champs.
Vince, you missed that. You missed that whole ordeal. I had a day. The game night set champs. You weren't there to keep things under control. I was frantically trying to get things all set up. I had an extra large Dr. Pepper from Quick Trip, and I set it down. Then I went and got the promo stuff, and then I spilled it all over the floor. Had to go get a mop and mop that up, and then just, oh man, starting that set championship last weekend was just a nightmare. And all I could think was.
I took a picture for his PR campaign. Look, the mayor does charitable work as a janitor.
Actually, take a picture of me mopping.
Yeah,
I should have though. Really would have helped your campaign with the younger viewers that you lost after the 6-7 incident.
Yeah, I think if you're though, respectful and bring snacks and stuff. in your bag. And don't
Panties.
like litter and stuff. You'll probably be fine.
Probably. We don't know. It sounds like you're not supposed to, but
It's really rough.
at your own risk.
Well,
Don't
listen,
bring-
here's the deal. I'm bringing snackies.
Yeah, I'm bringing
so,
snackies too. I'm bringing something small, respectable, reasonable, nothing
I
crazy.
need my Cliff Bars, man.
If they confiscate your snackies, just don't bring the caviar snackies. Like just maybe start off the first day with
is that a who?
I don't know,
who's
expensive
bringing
snackies.
Yeah.
Don't bring the expensive snackies. Bring the cheaper snackies. I don't know what to tell you. All right. Get creative with where you hide them. Put them in your hat, or
Listen, we're
wear
not
a
advising
cosplay
it
that is
on
made
any
of
kind
snacks.
of illicit thing here.
What if I go as Bobby and I bring the string cheese? It's part of my cosplay, right? So they can't take that away from me. That's one way you could probably get some snackies.
Dude.
Yeah, that's how you could probably get snackies in there. But
I'm cosplaying as a sandwich.
I definitely have
I'm wearing a Ratatouille shirt, so maybe I go as Ratatouille, just bring a whole smorgasbord of food,
Charcuterie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my costume.
so.
All right, we've got a little bit off the rails.
Yeah.
There.
All right, we got through what we're not going to do, and let's talk about what we are going to do. What are we playing, guys?
So I've got a spiel, I guess, about the DLC. I don't know. It's going to encompass way too many things. I'll try and just get to the base things. There's some things that I learned from some other podcasts along the way, but always use pencil and paper, or pen and paper, I guess is probably better for your scorekeeping. There are a ton of really cool lore keepers out there, like the little spinny things, 20-sided dice. Vince is holding one of them up now. Pen and paper, please use that. I know that the apps are now allowed. The official Lorcana app is now allowed to be used. I really don't recommend it. The app could crash.
You accidentally hit it.
Your
app
phone
could crash.
goes
You
off.
accidentally hit it twice. You lose power. Yeah, there's a lot to think about with that, and it's very important. I've been victim of it, or guilty of it is the word I should use. Just in the locals when we're playing, I hit it and I think I hit it twice, and then I don't know if I hit it twice, and I can't prove that the score is correct anymore. And the best way to do that is to have it written down, and it's just to track with your opponent as every time the game state changes. I'm at 4, you're at 2, you're at 3, I'm at 6. Confirm every time the score changes, and you shouldn't have any discrepancies. And you have the pen and paper to track that as well.
It's just also important when you're dealing, if there's a judge call, which I highly recommend, that if you are concerned about some play,
if you're the victim of cheating at a DLC,
that's what they
call it.
No. Like if there's a play that occurs and you're not sure that that's how that play should have gone, call a judge. Yeah, there's no. Here's the thing: the judge is always going to add a little bit more time, or ask them for a little bit more time to do that. And so don't think about it. It's like, if I ask for a judge, I'm going to run out of time. Judges can add more time to the round for you, and they generally do. When there's a pause in play, it will give you additional time, and it makes sure that the matches. So it's really important to keep a clean board state, and one way that you can do that is by ensuring that, like Andy said, you're writing these scores down on pen and paper so that you have a record, your opponent has a record, and so that when it comes down to it, if there's some discrepancy, you can both do that. And you could look at the history if you're keeping it by pen and paper. You lose that history when you use any of these gadgets that are out there. And when a situation erupts, if you're using one of these, the application or one of these gadgets, and your opponent is using pen and paper, the judge is almost always going to side with the person that has a record of the match, because they're going to be able to see how things happen. And, if they just happen to not record that you got that bump of 2, on the application or the thing, it's going to be a little bit hard to kind of parse that out. And if your opponent, has a written record of the entire match.
Can I have a second while we're on judges?
Somebody
like Paul who asked earlier, anybody else who's new to the DLC, do not be afraid to call them. I went into it like if you're like me, sometimes you're like calling a judge seems like a big deal. It could be offensive to somebody, like in my mind, and I chronically overthink things. What's that?
Be offensive. If you think it's offensive if you think it's offensive to call a judge on your opponent, okay, who cares? If they get offended, good. I mean, well, not good. That's poor sportsmanship on their part. But like, who cares? That's not on them.
Yeah.
Do not let them intimidate you into not calling a judge.
Yeah, be very open to calling them. Don't think anything of it, and explain if for whatever reason you get any kind of pushback from your opponent, it's not on them. It is on you. It is your right to call the judge, and you have every right to do so. Even at the after the judge makes their call or whatever, and gets informed and gives you time or whatever, like Vince said, and you don't agree with it, don't be afraid to appeal it either. I had a situation in Seattle. Yeah, everybody. You just remember that everybody's human, and you could disagree, and then maybe they'll appeal it to the higher or the head judge, and I had an incident in Seattle where like I did not agree with a couple of judges. It was in a meaningless round in like round 8 or whatever, but I was like, I don't agree with your conclusion to this. Can we get another set of eyes on it and explain the situation? And so just be respectful and don't be afraid to do it is my main point in regards to do that, because I'm always like, God, I'm gonna upset somebody, and I don't even like attention a lot of times, or like I don't want to be the one to shout it, but if you absolutely need clarification on something, that is what they are there to do. So excuse me, don't hesitate to do that whatsoever. I really wanted to hammer that home.
And I'll be honest, the rules of the Lorcana and interactions have actually only gotten more complex. So if you've been to previous DLCs and stuff, don't feel like you like shy about doing that. And honestly, a lot of the judges that exist that are gonna be on the floor judges, like some of them will have had other experience judging, but some might not. This might be their first major tournament that they're judging at. And so, be kind, respectful and stuff, but don't be shy to appeal that to the higher authorities there.
All right, back to you, Andy. Sorry.
Yeah. No, we just always use pen and paper for your scorekeeping. Nothing goes in your deck box other than your cards.
Ooh, that's a good one.
No extra cards. I personally will sometimes bring maybe 2 or 3 cards, something I'm considering here, swapping one out this way or the other. A 2,000 person tournament's a little different, but maybe you go to a vendor and you like buy a card while you're waiting for the tournament to start, and you're like, oh, this is a good deal, let me grab this card. Do not put it in your deck box. Do not have anything else in your deck box at all, because it could be misconstrued as part of your deck and could result in a penalty with a deck check.
I honestly seriously recommend, I'm showing these folks these small little binders that
put
I
promos
have
and things in.
You put promos and cards in. Now, there is one exception, although I think Andy is correct in saying that you, just as a general rule, you should not put anything in your deck box.
Right.
But you can put an event promo into your deck box, typically, and that won't be considered. That will not be considered a
it's just not
part of your deck.
It's just not worth it.
I just wouldn't get in the practice of doing that, because this all just comes down to deck checks, right? Yep. And you want to make sure that the deck that you, which I think like is in part to also triple check the deck that you submit. That is the deck that you're playing. Because I cannot stress how many times I've seen where people have submitted a deck list totally unintentionally, but then do not play the deck that they submitted because they accidentally moved out one card, or for some reason they submitted, another card. So just make sure that you are double checking every single card that lines with your deck list.
Yeah, my deck list for Sunday and the set champs was wrong. And we didn't do deck lists because it was a smaller event and there were no deck checks really. They did some deck checks to like make sure it was a legal deck, but there were no deck lists. But when I went to send my deck list to Brad, I sent it to him and I was like, I didn't have Pete in my deck. Pretty sure I didn't have that card in my deck. So, my deck list was wrong, but
ran 62.
Yeah, I still ran 62. You know why? Because I'm bad at this game and I can't figure out what 2 cards to remove, and it's better to have those 2 cards than remove 2 of them that I absolutely needed. So,
Yeah.
another.
On the number,
Go ahead.
I was going to speak real quick. The number of cards in your deck, or what I wanted to hammer home, I kind of already lost it since we moved on to your deck thing from this weekend. But always make sure that you have the right amount of cards. Like you're playing
Don't
with the
lose
full
them.
deck. Like you get everything out of your deck box.
Yeah.
In between rounds, make sure you still have the full 60 or 72 cards that you're playing with. That's a joke. 60 cards that you're playing with, because we've seen big name players in the past have circumstances where they realized later on in the tournament, several games later, that one of their cards is missing. Or another player I remember realized that she didn't have a card in her deck during a round and self-reported for a game loss. A very noble
I
gesture, but,
accidentally did that in Seattle. It didn't end up mattering in the game.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
But yeah, in between rounds, always make sure
Yep.
you don't have to put them in order, but at least count your deck and make sure you have every card accounted for, so that you're not finding yourself 3 or 4 rounds later and missing cards.
And with that, also make sure that you're looking at your sleeves. They can get damaged throughout the course
Bring
of the
extras.
event. So make sure. Honestly, I always bring brand new ones when I start, and then I sleeve, and then I throughout the day will look and see if there's anything re-sleeved that I needs to be re-sleeved through the day, which I actually think is a great opportunity for us to discuss this partnership.
We've got. It's not a sponsorship. It's not a partnership. Vince. You're gonna get us in
All right.
trouble. Hashtag not an ad. But I have been a big fan of the dual spec sleeves.
Hashtag kind of an ad.
Kind of an ad. Hey, it's my personal opinion here. I've been a big fan of them.
I've never used
these are
them.
the pros. I actually like the XDs a little more. But as you can see, I'm out of them. This one, I've been using them up. Not that they get like worn up, but I put them on all of my decks. So we do actually now have an affiliate code though. So if you do go to dualspec.com and you use our code ROV at checkout, you'll get 10% off. Again, you won't be able to get these in time for the DLC, but next time around, as you're looking to continue, I think we all are on this journey for like the best sleeves possible.
Well, Andy's really on this because you've tried out
a billion,
a lot.
sleeve.
Yeah,
I'm still trying them out. I just bought some the other day.
I settled on my sleeve brand that will not be named
because they don't give us any.
We don't have an affiliate code.
Yeah.
Affiliate code. But I had tried some other sleeves that I was, not a fan of. Although I think you're kind of a fan of those sleeves. But
it's fine. I'm going to do a sleeve video at some point on this. A couple other things I do want to get to. Just little tips. Make sure you can see the clock. I think Podcana said angle for the clock is like kind of the cool people term or whatever, but just make sure you can see like the clock from where you're sitting. It can be stressful as the time dwindles and the round goes on. You really want to be aware of how much time you have left in the game so that you are not slow playing yourself or your opponent. So that's always good. Try and get to your table early. Now
that's actually one change that I think they did make this year is that so previous years you used to not be able to have any devices, right? Like they would make you put any of your devices, but the rule is much more nuanced this time around.
You still can't really.
You can't have devices as long as there is no secret information. So theoretically, you could put it just like your timer on the table. Because I'll tell you, the reason why I say this is while I 100% agree with this advice of like sitting next to a clock, these venues are so large that unless you're strategically placed in the right place,
you have to sit at the table number they give you. What I'm saying is they have clocks all the way around the building that you can see. Sit in a you have
conscious of where
two
they're
sides
at.
of the table. Yes, when you arrive at the table, ideally early, pay attention. Don't be lollygagging in the bathroom or something. Be there on time. find the seat that has a better view for you of the clock, right?
Yeah, if you
that's the
can,
goal.
and I'm just offering an alternative if you cannot.
I would be hesitant of that because I mean, what if text messages go off? What if notifications pop up? What if something happens?
Well, I
your
mean,
phone,
listen, I think you have to just be a responsible individual, right? And stuff. And I'm just saying that I think listen, I'm not saying I will necessarily do it. I agree there are certainly risks at doing it, but I do think it is an option that we should mention, given that it was not an option previously. It used to be 100%.
You're right. No electronic devices.
No electronic devices at all.
They've always said you've been able to use the official app. I'm pretty certain that you've always been able to.
No,
are you sure?
Not 100%. When I went,
because it was ridiculous to me that it existed and we couldn't use it.
When I went to the DLC, when we went to the DLCs last year, I remember very specifically. I even would have my phone on the table face down, and the judge would come by and he'd be like, "Hey, you need to put that away." So they
my opponent
were 100%.
First round Atlanta used a graphing calculator as a scorekeeper. It was baller, but I told him, I was like, you should ask
Remember when our
judge.
teachers told us you wouldn't have a calculator in your pocket?
So
not
so
the DLC, mate.
Okay.
They have like definitely, I feel like, loosen that up.
Cool.
I do think
I
we don't know exactly how it's fully going to play out. So I think you're right to be a little bit cautioned about it. But I think, there's probably some more,
certainly read the rules if you're trying to provide yourself with a little bit of convenience, or you'd like to try and do something that read the rules, ask judges ahead of time, get there early, ask the judges, ask the organizers. They'll be able to get some of these answers for you if you're allowed to do the things that you want to do with it. Personally, my recommendation for someone who is hyper competitive, leave the electronics in your bag, in your pocket. Don't wear smartwatches. I know they're allowed now too. Just don't. You don't want them going off. You don't want your opponent to have any opportunity to say, "Oh, he got a text message during."
Well, I would just say that there's your opponent is also human, so also ask your opponent.
It has
a lot of folks, a lot of folks here. I get what you're saying.
That hard. Don't ask your opponent nothing. It's between you and the judge. You don't ask your opponent, "Am I allowed to put the clock out?" Because then you put the clock out, they say yes, and then they call a judge on you later because it's actually against the rules. No. Bad advice.
It's not against the rules. It's not against the rules to do that.
He's using that as an example.
Yeah, if you didn't ask the judge and the judge has decided, okay, well, the rules state you're allowed to have your phone, but you're not allowed to use a timer on it. You're not allowed to have any information on it.
It's not necessary to ask a judge about it, though. Like, you can use a timer.
No, the rules don't specifically say you can use a timer on your phone. They say you're allowed to use your phone as long as it is in a public space and it's used to score keep.
No, as it says that as long as there's no hidden information. So as long as it's all public information, you can use it, which is why the app, if you want to use the app for scorekeeping purposes, you can use it. That's obviously we agree that we recommend that you can't do it. There's no reason why a timer wouldn't fall.
You guys can listen to Vince, the guy who said Brad definitely wouldn't bubble out that one tournament because he's run a lot of tournaments. But no, I personally
so that was like 2 years ago, and now you like to call that.
I like the idea.
Out. You're the one who likes to do that now.
I'm the bubble mayor.
I like the idea of using a timer on your phone, but I would very, very strongly recommend you talk to the tournament organizers. I have done that for several things that I was questionable about, using dice to mark your hand, which is a new thing that is now very forbidden to do. And before was a gray area. Ask the tournament organizer. Chances are the head judge, I met Albert in DLC Atlanta. Chances are they're around and you can ask them, or you can ask other judges. And if they don't know, they'll go to a judge that does know. Yeah. Just ask that way. Don't ask your opponent, is this okay? Just ask the judge. If the judge says it's okay, awesome. Now do that. And if someone gives you crap, you just say, "Hey, I talked to a judge." At least you checked beforehand and you're not getting in some sort of rules nuanced argument. Don't just assume that that's how the rules work. Ask.
Yeah.
please just ask. Like Vince said at the beginning, call a judge. Just call a judge before the tournament starts and say, "Can I do this?" It's better to ask.
I would not rely like on very small trivial things. I would ask the opponent, whatever this or that. But when it comes
I'm not
to
asking.
like a rule,
I think you guys
like,
are missing my point. I'm not saying
I don't want to
asking
open the
your
door to be
opponent.
deceived.
I'm saying you'd ask your opponents like, are you okay that I use my phone as a timer?
But if it is hard allowed by the rules, then it does not matter if they are okay with it or not. You don't need to ask them. You just use it. But if it is not hard okay with the rules, and you're asking them, they can just change their mind later.
We're dragging this conversation along and stuff, and we're clearly not all going to agree on exactly the right way that should work. So let's move on to the next one. Next segment here.
I got something. Or next segment, or are we?
Well,
are we
next
done?
next.
Yeah. I've not noticed it personally. I've heard horror stories of things in the past. There's a lot of valuables here at big events like this. 2,000 plus people, lots of expensive cards. Keep track of your stuff. It's possible. Or if you know me at all, Kirsten's going to get a laugh out of this.
Water bottle.
Lose my water bottle all the time. It was a miracle that I found it in Seattle. But that's not important. What's important is you have a bag full of your shiniest cards that you're playing in your backpack or whatever. Make sure your backpack is secure. If you're sitting down, one of the tips that I got going into my first DLC from one of our locals was strap the chair around with a backpack thing so somebody can't just walk by and take it. There could be some, thief or somebody.
I wrap it around my leg.
Wrap it around your leg somewhere that it's out of sight and you don't have to worry about it. Somebody just taking off with it. I have a bad habit with some of my pants that my wallet just falls out of my back pocket. You guys have seen it at the locals before. That's going in my bag at the DLC. In fact, you know what? It's probably going to go into Emily's bag. So I don't walk around buying a bunch of stuff all weekend or whatever, but I don't have to worry about that.
Save that money for that wedding.
Your opponent my biggest across from you is like, you're not Brad the Mayor. I'm going to need some ID here.
But what I really wanted to stress though was if you got a bag full of valuables or whatever that you don't, I mean, of course nobody wants to lose their stuff. Just make sure that it is secure. Always when you get up from your seat, make sure that you've picked up everything, especially your cards. You could be missing one later, but have it all, secure so that it's not open for somebody to accidentally pick it up or purposefully, unfortunately, if there's somebody out there
or just
wanting to do something like that.
You drop it or something. Yeah. It's not Times Square, and you're not going to get mugged by everyone, but there are a lot of people. Also, I would go even one step further. Don't bring them. Don't bring the fancy cards. The ones you're playing with, sure. Play with your shinies. Those, I'm a big fan of that. Kirsten and I have the deck boxes with the iconics in them. Sorry guys, we're not going to have them to show off at the DLC. It's not worth it to bring them and just have the added burden of making sure we don't lose them or damage them or anything like that. It's just smarter to leave them at home.
Sure. Yep. Well, you know what I would recommend, and you can go to our affiliate code at Amazon.com. No, I'm just kidding. We do not have it, but I have those
card
air tags and stuff.
The air tag
things. Yeah. So that I can.
That's a good one too.
But I would honestly, I think Andy's right though. If you're gonna bring stuff, say you're gonna bring a trade binder with you for trading and stuff. If you don't need that, leave it at your hotel room or your Airbnb or wherever you're staying and stuff. The less that you carry on you is the less that you can misplace or something potentially can happen to you. Because I'll just say it's keep in mind it's not just other players. These are conventions. There might be other events going on at the convention hall at the exact same time. So there's plenty of things to get lost, misplaced, or worse. And so,
Absolutely. I agree. It's going to take a long time. It's going to be all day. We've talked about it. Be mentally prepared. Get good sleep the night before. Or apparently no sleep wins championships. Is that what we saw? There's a couple people.
Shout out to Sky.
Shout out to Sky. Yeah, shout out to Andy, Grapes Andy. Apparently he worked all night, came straight to the set champs and then played 9 hours straight and won at Bodox. So
wow.
You don't need sleep to win at Lorcana, apparently. I'm just joking. Get a good sleep, be comfortable, get good food, just you're on vacation, really. Like, you love playing Lorcana. This is vacation for you.
This
It's
is not
fun.
vacation for
No,
me.
this is not
It is
vacation.
vacation.
This is too much anxiety.
No,
You-
you. I'm gonna say your own words against you. You said you were going in to face your enemies. These are not your friends.
You're going to
Not
war.
a vacation. You're going to war. You are going to
You're going to war
banish your
in
opponents
Hawaii.
to get to the top
It's
table.
warcation.
It's warcation. Like, it's just you're going
you're
to
making
have
sure that you have story on board so you can sign this book and close this era.
I just ultimately, like, do whatever it is you do to relax and try and, like, get in the zone, or don't stress about all of this stuff. Don't worry about any of that stuff. You're here to have fun. You're gonna do great at this event. You're gonna have a ton of fun. And there's gonna be 2 more this year, plus plenty of other events we're gonna get to go to. We're gonna have a great time. And then just play your best Lorcana. That's all you can do, right?
Richmond is only like 3 months away. It's insane.
3 months.
It's in January.
So
what?
One thing I would also like to bring up, though, is just so once you've sat down, we talked a lot about what do you do when you sit down. You've got your notepad. You're ready to face off. It's like you may not do this in your actual set champs, but I would highly, highly recommend and you can pick up your opponent's deck and shuffle the deck.
Yeah, shuffle it.
So
do it
because
respectfully too. Don't.
well, of course, yes.
Yeah,
I think that goes without saying.
It should go without saying. Yeah, but there
Yeah,
are, like, some people need to hear it, but like there are expensive cards in there, and it's one of those things where it's like, I get why, and you're totally allowed to do it, and your opponent is absolutely going to shuffle your deck as well. So get used to that. Always at least cut it. You don't have to shuffle it.
They don't shuffle your deck. It's like free win. You got it.
Always cut it, and always honestly, like, ask. Like, there's gonna be people who don't. But like, my nature, just me personally, is just like, anytime that I am going to do anything outside of my, like, boundary here, it's like, hey, can I see that? Can I cut your deck, whatever. But like,
so I give you my deck to cut, Brad.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
ask that. Like, if you're offering it to me, then yeah, I get it.
Well, no,
like,
no matter what,
like,
you offer your deck for the person to cut is the point, right?
Yeah.
So I've shuffled, I've cut, I've given you my deck. Are you going to cut it? You want to shuffle it, right? Are you going to ask, is it okay if I shuffle your deck?
I'm not a shuffler.
Shuffler?
If I were to shuffle somebody's deck, I would ask them. Yeah. Because if it's presented to me,
you asked me, is it okay if I shuffle your deck, right? Well, what if I say
wouldn't
no?
ask you. I wouldn't ask you.
Well, no, if I'm your opponent, right? You say, is it okay if I shuffle your deck? No. What do you say?
That's a good. Okay, that goes.
That's
back
the
to
point.
your
That's
point.
why you don't ask.
Deceive you.
You just be respectful and you do it. That is what is supposed to happen. If they say something, you can pause for a moment and just kind of try and very nicely explain to them that this is very allowed and standard, and we can call a judge if you want. I'll set it down, but I would like to shuffle your deck at least once or twice here.
Yeah,
but
right.
And
when you ask them, hey, am I allowed to? And then they say no, you just like, then you look like even bigger.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Like, too bad.
I'm doing it anyway.
That's the other thing, though, is that, like, I wouldn't. You're right. I shouldn't ask that because I set myself up for them saying no, and I'm generally not a shuffler of their deck anyway. I just cut it in the first place. So, like,
don't riffle. Don't ever do that. But yeah, it is good practice to shuffle. I mean, it's just one of those things that.
You okay?
1 sec. Yeah.
Is the cat playing in the?
That was on the Lego set.
On the Lego set.
I knew as soon as he looked up that Cassian was.
It's he's got the like Pantheon. What is it? The Colosseum.
Yeah.
The one from Greece.
Well, it's
the cat
actually
probably thinks it's a box, and it's like, I'm gonna go hang out.
One of my castles.
I sits.
He keeps going up there, and it drives me crazy.
He's doing his best gargoyles impression.
Oh yeah. Speaking of gargoyles, check out our video with Chip.
Yes,
Gargoyle
great video.
So
I agree.
But yeah, I would just definitely recommend shuffling because
sure,
it's a good way to ensure randomization because you don't know how they're shuffling, and stuff. Everybody,
I've seen Penn and Teller before.
Yeah, and a lot of people pile shuffle, and you really need to be shuffling afterwards because pile shuffling is not a randomized shuffling.
That's why they call it pile sorting or pile counting.
Right.
The correct
So
term.
I think that's just like a good practice there. I also just like we talked a little bit about this, but I think it's really important just to make sure that you're always maintaining clear game state in these. So when you're doing things, being clear about what you're doing and not, I wouldn't this isn't the time to be silent, is what I would say.
Certainly.
And be very clear about like when you're ending your turn. And being very clear about what you're inking. There is I think it's just a good practice to leave the card that you ink face up for the duration.
Absolutely do that.
Of your turn, and make sure that you flip it over just to make sure, because so many times you can forget, like, did I ink or did I not ink? And just kind of being mindful of that, like, if you have triggers that allow you to ink additionally, whether it's like with TPO or sale, like understanding, with like sale, it's a little bit easier because you can leave that card face up because you have to show your card. But with TPO, it can be a little bit more difficult and stuff to remember. It's like, okay,
you got to do TPO right away. Sale, you don't have to. TPO, you have to do right away. But I actually made me think of something, Vince. If your opponent inks, because I've seen this, there's a lot of ink styles, right? My favorite is some of the kids that are newer to the game do this. They have the card in their hand and they go, okay, I'm going to ink Jafar. And they just put it straight down in their inkwell face down. And I'm like, can I see that was a Jafar? Obviously, that's a kid. They're like newer at the game. I'm not saying like your opponent. Everyone has these like weird ink styles. Sometimes the person like shows it to you and then immediately flips it over, right? Would you ask your opponent like to leave the card face up? And this is maybe not necessarily a question that we answer, especially because we're quickly gaining on our 2-hour time limit here. But it's something to think about. Do you ask your opponent, hey, do you mind leaving that ink face up until the end of the turn so that we know that you've inked? I think it is something that should be cemented in the game as like the rule of what you have to do, but we're kind of in this gray area where you should do it, but if your opponent does it, are we at a point where you ask them to do it? I almost would. If it's Brad, I think it's to do it.
It's an interesting question. I definitely would say 100% that you have to see the card.
Oh yeah, right. We're not questioning that.
We're asking
without question. Like if they're a fast inker and you didn't see it, you should tell them like, hey. You should feel no gumption about being like, hey,
right. Yeah, we get that. Just if they show it and then flip it over and then go back to like, I would almost be like, hey, do you mind leaving that face up? Especially if I know they're playing something like a Sapphire deck where they could be inking multiple times, and even if they're not, you got to keep an eye out for that. It is not something that we're saying people cheat to do these types of things, but drawing extra cards, inking extra cards per turn, not putting damage on characters. These are things that people forget. There are 2,000 people playing for this one title of DLC champion. Everyone is going to make mistakes. The best thing you can do is help maintain proper board state for everyone in the game.
But it's not only like helping, it is your responsibility as a player to maintain game state. Because if you fail to maintain game state and for some reason some correction needs to occur, both players can get warnings for an issue that occurs. And like, hopefully that's not going to be an issue. It goes on your permanent record. But well, you get enough warnings, it could be a game loss.
I know.
So or worse. So it could be there are actual like competitive penalties that it can occur. So making sure, and some of these things are things like making sure locations. You're triggering lore.
Oh, Vince, tell me you haven't played Lorcana in 2 months without telling me you haven't played Lorcana in 2 months. Nobody plays locations, mate. Who's playing locations? If you forget your location lore, it's on you, mate. You're the only one playing a location. I forgot they even existed in this game. Come on. Come on now, let's be real. Let's give them
Well,
good examples, Vince.
There's some spicy ones coming up, but we'll talk about them later.
But
Okay.
there's also Infinity format. There's Infinity.
All right,
format.
okay. Infinity, you're right. Blinders on. It is DLC Milwaukee.
You are so
core
focused
constructed. You gotta
only core constructed.
be in it to win it, Vince.
You're on a list
right?
that's 5 through 9, and that's it. Like nothing else exists.
Exactly.
But yeah, is there anything else that we want to cover here?
No, I think that's it.
Covered a lot.
We probably got a quick final segment here, right?
Probably. I don't know what our time is. I did not have a timer tonight.
We're already
let's
past
get
our
into
preferred time.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's get into
Villain of the week.
We're in
Take
like
it away from there.
the bonus time, Brad. Like soccer
Bonus
game.
time.
Yeah.
All right. Apologies to Gantu. All hail. We have Lady Miss Park Avenue from Set 7, Arcasia's Island. She is a 5-cost uninkable 4/4 that quests for 2 and a shift 3. She is a dual ink of Amber and Emerald, Floodborn Hero, super rare card. And what she does is something wonderful. When you play this character, you may return up to 2 character cards with 2 cost or less from your discard to your hand. And art by, I have it very small on my screen. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
And I don't know how to pronounce it. Joao Maura. And I'm doubly apologetic for,
I just want to say this is why we write them out, but Annie's like, nah, we don't need to write them out.
Okay, look.
Just read the cards.
This one was on me. I did this.
I don't have ocular issues like the rest of you. I don't have the big Coke bottle lens glasses on. I can read it, but I still can't pronounce it because I don't know why there's a squiggly mark over top of that A. I'm not educated enough to understand that, Vince. They didn't teach that in my school. I'm dumb.
You know what the most important thing about this card is? Before we get into the actual functionality,
Jock's in the background.
This is the first appearance of Jock. Scotty Watts, let's go. I was so excited when everybody started tagging me. I was at my friend's daughter's party. I think it was her birthday or something after a gymnastics thing. And literally everybody started tagging me when they saw a little Jock back there in the background making his Lorcana debut. So excited. But this card, man, has,
so excited.
So
yeah, three or 4 of in all the dogs decks now.
Honestly, this card, this
I've
card
seen
is
3s
just,
in some of them, but for
one,
yeah,
you've got the lady that you can shift on, right? So
2
you
of
can
them.
Shift the
Two of them.
you got 3 ladies you could shift on.
2 1-cost ladies.
And then the 3 drop.
Yeah.
If you play, a lot of people aren't running her, but yeah.
And then you can bring 2 character cards with 2 costs or less from your discard to your hand.
Welcome back,
Daisy. Bring back, yeah, exactly.
Daisy Merfolk. Daisy Lady.
Merfolk. Go-Go. Go-Go is former villain of the week and a very powerful deck in this card in this deck.
Just a great way to recur cards because you're forcing your opponent to have to challenge. Although these decks really aren't. Some are running Chromacom, but not all, right?
It's either Sea Dogs or Chroma Dogs.
I would say most are, but
Tom's deck from this weekend was both Under the Sea.
Yeah, both is good too. Both is good. But yeah, the biggest
meme here.
The biggest thing for me is that this, like, in the current meta, this is very similar to Doc. The difference is that you're essentially guaranteeing that you're getting the 2 best cards you could possibly hope for from your deck, because you really do. You want 2 cards to flood the board, and you are able to quest without, care in the world, let them get banished, bring the lady out, bring them back, play them again, get double value out of them. Plus 4/4 body for 2 is just like, chef's kiss. Like that's a body, right?
Yeah.
4/4 quest for 2. Yeah.
Oh, quest for 2. Sorry, I thought you meant
shifts for 3, which is also pretty nice too. I mean, a turn 3 4/4 is I guess something Blurple can do, but not not nothing, right? Like it ain't nothing.
It's also her weakness
Yeah.
though too, where if a lot of times these dogs decks aren't really inking past 3, maybe 4 at the most, so they don't ever want to hard. You're inking them because you're playing. They're running into a lot of Blurple. But you take away these shift targets. Her biggest weakness is like enemy number 1 in this deck is her shift target, because you can banish their 1 cost and their 2 cost or whatever, but if they're shifting that lady in on turn 3 or whatever, they're just getting those back. So you see this. I forget the title of the uninkable 1-drop come out. She quests for 2 when a tramp comes out, but like she's worthless. She's like a 0/1, I think, out there.
She's a 1/2. Quest for 1,
but
nothing special. Uninkable.
Like, yeah, you want to get rid of her because they're trying to shift her on and have that 4/4 out there because it's threatening. Like you said, the 4 strength, anything you run into that is going to hit back very, very hard. And I remember specifically at the Game Night Set Championship, it was either Alec or Andy that I think it was Alec that Chip was playing, who ended up winning the whole thing. But he had a wide board of things to take care of, and I think Alec either had fire the cannons or strength or something, and he chose the lady. And I knew the one card that Chip had in his hand was the shift lady, and he just goes, well, that wasn't the right choice. Or it was the right choice, rather, for Alec. But, he could not do anything the next turn because this is now a 5 cost without that shift target. So
I've done that to Kirsten so many times. I've literally been like, strength the day. Hold on. We're going to strength the lady. I didn't say Daisy. I said lady. And then she'll literally draw, ink to 4, and pass the turn.
Do nothing.
And I'm like, I knew it. You had the shift lady. You get nothing. You lose. And it's like, it feels great to do. But at the same time, when they play lady on 1 and then lady tramp on 2, you're kind of like, well, that's a few too many ladies for me to get rid of. So it is just a really, really strong card. It works really, really well for recurring those cards and getting it back. It's very similar to how Grapes Andy was able to use we saw him use the Invited to the Ball, right? Is that what it is? Which brings 2 cards back from your discard to your hand. Is it any 2 cards, or is it the same stipulations? 2 costs with 2 with 2 SOS?
I thought Invited to the Ball was the one where you draw 2 cards, and if they're characters, you keep them.
Oh, maybe that is. There's another one where you return card from your discard that I've seen used before, but it's really nice. That's my final.
But
thought.
I mean, this is just it answers the one problem that the Amber Emerald decks have, which is draw, right? And if you can bring a card back from your discard, especially one that you get to basically choose because you've played, obviously there are stipulations, that's even better. So honestly, it's really kind of a great way to be able to put those characters back on the board versus because you get to know basically what you're going to play again versus gambling on, because I can't tell you how many times it's like, okay, play a doc and
get
then it's like
Captain Hook.
didn't get what I wanted. It's almost better.
Shoot, now I forget what I was going to say. You made me forget. What were we saying before that?
It was a do question. You were going to ask us if we do something.
I was going to ask you if you know why something. I had an amazing pun lined up. Let's be real. That was the actual answer, and now it is really bothering me.
Now it's gone. My question is this deck, we've talked about this, so just reminding our viewers, right? Like, this deck is really good against Blurple.
I remembered it. Pause. Do you know why Genie, the one in Amethyst, draws you a card when you play it instead of returning a card from your discard?
Why?
Because he can't bring them back from the dead. Get it? It is one of his stipulations.
I don't like doing it.
It's icky.
It's not a pretty picture.
Yeah.
Did you rub my lamp?
Did you wake me up?
Had to get that on here as much as I've been screaming it at the locals, but
I want to hear it across the DLC. When someone plays Genie, when they play Genie, you just be like, "Did you rub my lamp?"
You'll
as loud
hear
as
it.
you can.
But what do we think about dogs? Predictions for we didn't get into predictions in the main segment, but I think dogs has a fighting chance to winning DLC Milwaukee. It's been lingering. It's been doing really well. It does have weaknesses, but she is a big part of. We talking about the draw package, if not the biggest part of the draw package of that deck. Are we going to be seeing Miss Park Avenue in the finals of DLC Milwaukee? No,
I think Amethyst Steel wins.
Amethyst Steel
DLC
wins.
Milwaukee, but I think this card is very good, and I think dogs is going to be very prominent because Blurple is going to be very prominent, and I think every Blurple player who shows up with that list is going to just pray to Gantu that they do not run into dogs at all.
Pray to Gantu.
Yes, Lord Gantu.
Well, because you still think you're still on the bandwagon that you think that Amethyst Steel beats the stack.
Oh yeah.
The steel alone eats it. Yeah, this deck eats Blurple. Amethyst Steel eats this deck. It can beat it, or dogs can beat it if everything goes right, which I guess is the case for any deck. But I saw some very exciting,
average,
or at least one very exciting dogs versus Amethyst Steel from two great players at Glass City Showdown, and I was like, wow, this is riveting, and I feel like we're going to see a lot of that in the top tables of the DLC. Well, I mean, we're not going to see them, but they're going to be there. We'll see the streamed matches. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
no, it has a chance, but yeah.
Artist Showcase.
Artist Showcase. This artist has 8 cards in the game, 2 enchanteds, 1 from this set. It is the Aerial Adventurous Collector, which is a beautiful, beautiful card. I remember everybody oohing and eyeing when that was announced. I think you do.
I mean, you probably do have it. Don't you have every enchanted?
Basically everything. And the Enchanted Sisu Empowered Sibling, which is also very pretty. It's a dark enchanted, but a very pretty one as well. Some other notable cards. Of course,
he does have it. He
does have it. Yeah, it's so pretty, so pretty.
It's just like hanging on his desk.
Yeah, just 2 of my favorite cards as a pirate lover here at the Rules of Villainy: Donald Duck, Lively Pirates, and the 3 cost unequal Smee, Efficient Captain. Very good. It made me think that was Ryan Hines, because he's been doing that Donald Duck noise for like the last several weeks, just randomly. But the Efficient Captain, Mr. Smee, where whenever you play an action, it's not a song, you can just ready a chosen pirate character, no restrictions whatsoever. It makes double questing with pirates or whatever, what have you. So much fun. But 8 cards in the game currently, and probably going to be a bunch more as Disney Lorcana grows. And I'll have a link to their. Yeah, I'll have a link to their. I'm sure they have an Instagram. Every artist does. If not, I'll find their art station or whatever link where they showcase their art in the description below for you to go check it out.
Best Tiny Jock artist in Lorcana.
Tiny Jock.
Let us know your thoughts on Villain of the Week. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you're joining us on audio, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
And if you're joining us on YouTube, which if you're not, you really should. We have a lot of fun over here. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and join us Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, almost every day of the week at this point for some awesome content here.
And we understand your time is valuable, so I'm not going to waste any more of it. If you guys want to follow us on socials, we're at Rules of Villainy. Good luck in Milwaukee. Come say hi. Can't wait to see you. Take it away, Vince.
Until next week, stay safe, fellow villains. Be wary of wannabe heroes who want to disrupt your villainous plans. And as always, remember the rules of villainy.
Did you rub my lamp?
Did you rub my lamp?